Have you ever opened your door to someone you believed had disappeared forever? Someone whose funeral you attended with your own eyes. This is the night that changed my life forever. And to this day, I never answer a knock after midnight. It happened on a cold Friday night. The clock on my wall read 12:18 a.m. I had just finished reading a novel and I was getting ready for bed when I heard knocks, slow knocks on my front door. Knock, 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 knock. I froze. Nobody visited me that late. My parents lived hundreds of kilometers away. Most of my neighbors had already gone to sleep, and the only neighbor I truly trusted, Henry, had traveled to Abuja 4 days earlier to attend his younger brother's wedding. Curious, I quietly walked towards the door and peeped through the peephole. The moment I saw who was standing outside, my heart almost stopped. I froze. It was Miriam, my cousin. The same Miriam who had disappeared almost a year earlier. Police searched for weeks. Volunteers searched the nearby forest. Her family never gave up hope. Then months later, they found human remains deep inside an abandoned quarry. The clothes matched what she had been wearing on the day she vanished. The funeral was held shortly afterward. I stood beside her mother as they lowered the coffin into the ground. Yet, somehow, Miriam was standing outside my door. I slowly unlocked the door but kept the security chain fastened. Miriam, my voice trembled. What are you doing here? She looked straight at me. Her face showed no emotion. I came to see you. Her voice sounded hollow, almost rehearsed. I frowned. At midnight, Miriam? Really? At midnight? Where have you been? She answered quietly. I have been trying to come home. A chill crept through my body. Her clothes were filthy, covered with dried mud. Her hair was tangled. Her skin looked pale, and a damp, earthy smell surrounded her. Not perfume, not sweat, just the smell of wet soil. I stepped back. Miriam, it's late. Please come back tomorrow morning. Please, if you're new to my channel, subscribe, leave a comment, and tell us where you're watching from. She didn't move. She simply said, please, let me come inside. Her words felt unnatural, as though someone else was speaking through her. I gripped the door tighter. I'm sorry, not tonight. She stared without blinking, then repeated, please let me in. I shut the door, locked every bolt. For several seconds, everything became silent. I looked through the peephole again. She hadn't moved. She was still standing there, watching my door, without blinking, without speaking. I tried convincing myself I was imagining things. Maybe someone looked like her. Maybe grief was playing tricks on my mind. I walked toward my bedroom. Before I reached it, I heard her voice again, soft, almost carried by the wind. Open the door. Please, let me in. My heart pounded so loudly, I thought it would burst. I carefully looked through the front window. She was no longer on my porch. Now she stood outside my gate, perfectly still, facing the house like a statue. Fear settled deep inside me. I grabbed my phone. I called Henry, my neighbor. His phone rang several times before he answered. Hello. His voice sounded sleepy. Henry, it's me. What happened? I think Miriam is outside my house. There was a pause. Your cousin? Yes, but she disappeared last year. I know. Something isn't right. Please help me. Henry's voice immediately became serious. I'm still in Abuja. I won't be back until tomorrow afternoon. But listen carefully. Lock every door. Don't open it for anyone. I'm calling the security guards in our estates right now. After hanging up, I switched up every light in the house. Minutes passed. Then, knock, knock, knock. She was back at the front door. I gathered enough courage to speak. Miriam, please leave. No answer. Then, that same whisper, please, let me in. I shouted, go away. Silence. I looked through the peephole. She had disappeared. Relief flooded over me until I glanced through the front window. She was standing across the road, watching my house, perfectly still. I remembered I still had my aunt's number. With trembling hands, I called her. She answered after several rings. Hello, Auntie. I'm so sorry for calling this late, but Miriam is outside my house. The line became completely silent. Finally, she whispered, who did you say? Miriam. A long silence followed. Then my aunt began crying. We buried Miriam 4 months ago. You were there during her funeral. My blood ran cold. Yes. After the police identified her remains, we held her funeral. Remember? Yes, I said. I was there. That's impossible. She's outside my house. My aunt's voice trembled. My daughter is gone. Whatever you are saying, it isn't Miriam. The call ended. Slowly, I turned towards the window. She was still standing there, waiting. Then, she slowly lifted her head. Her eyes met mine, and she smiled. It wasn't a human smile. It stretched far wider than it should be. She raised one hand, gave a slow wave, then turned around, walked into the darkness, and disappeared. The next afternoon, Henry returned from Abuja and came straight to my house after hearing what had happened. I told him everything: the knocking, the whispers, the phone call, the smile, the wave. He searched around my compound but found nothing. He looked at me and said quietly, I don't know what you saw, but whatever stood outside the house, I don't think it was your cousin. To this day, I still don't know who or what came to my door that night, but every now and then, after midnight, when the world falls completely silent, I still think I hear 3 slow knocks, knock, 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 and a whisper drifting through the darkness. Please, let me in. Now tell me, if someone you believed was dead knocked on your door at midnight, would you open? Or do you think whatever stood outside wasn't Miriam at all? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I read as many comments as I can, and I would love to know what you think really happened. Please, if you enjoyed this dark tale, please subscribe, like this video, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our next terrifying story.